Yeah, hello everyone. Yeah, welcome to our Development Studio. So, this will be a continuation of our HTML and CSS tutorial. So, in this video, we do introduction to CSS. You already have an idea of how HTML look like. So, and we also finish the cloning of the Visual Studio Code header. Yeah, the header. Okay, now. So I already showed you how you can create a CSS file and then you can link it. So you open the link tag, the relationship, that will be a style sheet because you want to style, and the href, that's the path to the style sheet. So since they're in the same directory, so that will be dot slash the folder styles forward slash style dot css. So now, so let's target the header first. Okay, now CSS. Oh, the way you add styles to CSS is just like when you are writing normal English. Like if you want to change the background color of a div or of a section, you write background color. You write background color. Background color. If you want to change the color, you write color. If you want to give a margin to or space, you write what margin. So we also have what padding. So CSS is just as if you're writing your normal English. So now, okay. So now, if you go to your to our app, if you open it with live server, you have this. So as you can see that what there is this margin and padding by default. I told you that we have block element, we have the inline element. The block element we had margin. We add margin and padding to the element. So first of all, you have to make sure you remove that. So you use the universal selector. So that's this star shift 8. So use the universal selector to what to cancel that. So padding will be 0 and margin will be 0. So let's go back. As you can see, so we have removed was the initial padding and margin. I hope you understand me. The initial padding and margin that was there before was as a result of the fact that we are using block elements. We used block elements. So now use the universal selector to target that, which is the this symbol, or I don't know, asterisk. Yeah, this asterisk symbol. So now say padding 0, margin and 0. So the third thing you can add here is what box sizing, border box. So now you see this box sizing. Let's go to oh no, you see this box sizing is just like a way to calculate the total width and height of an element. Okay, you see this border box tells the browser to account for any border and padding in values you specify for an element width and height. If you set an element width to 100 pixels, that 100 pixel will include any border or padding you added. I hope you understand what they are trying to say. Something like now, you know that if you had, okay, let's say you created a background or width of 200 pixel and you added a padding. If you had a padding normal by default, that padding should add an extra width. It should add an extra width to the 200 pixel original width. So But with border box, with box sizing border box, it will make sure it's correct, that what it will be in reference, it will absorb it, or it will be in reference to the original width, something like this. You see, if you see that 100 pixel will include any border or padding you added, like it won't add an additional width to the original, to the original width. So we also have border box. We also have content box. So content box gives you the default CSS behavior. If you set an element with 200 pixel, then the elements context box will be what, 100 pixel wide, and the width of any border or padding will be added to the final width render. You see this one now, but we don't want that. Content box we surely what, we surely add the padding to the what, to the width, while border box will not. It will not add an extra, it will not add an extra width. So I hope you understand. You can also check these websites out. Mozilla Developer Network. It's a great website, really. It's a great website. So yeah, that's it. Okay. So box sizing, border box. So now we can start targeting elements from the DOM. So we can target the body. You can say body background color. Let's see red. Let's see if you have something on the screen. As you can see, you can now what, change your background color. So we have different ways of writing colors. You know that it's not possible for you to know the name of any color, because we have there's this color papaya red or papaya green or something. I can't remember. You get, so it's not possible to know the name of every color. So that's why we have the X values. We have the X values, X values. So now you can just say for red now, I think that should be, yeah, F00. So that's for red. So as you can see, we have the same thing. So you can also use this one. Oh, what is it? FF0000. Oh, what's this? 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, 6. So you can use 3. You can also use 6. So that's it. So you can use any one you like, but we tend to use this X values. We also have 801, 83, I think 29 or so. Okay, so as you can see, so this is not fully green. So you have them like that. So you can use X values. You can also use RGB values. So this means was red, green, blue. So red will be with 25500. As you can see, so I have this extension installed. This color highlighter, color highlight. So you can also install it, color highlight. Okay. So as you can see, we have what, red. So it can also be, no, it can't exceed 255. 255 is the maximum. So now 255, that means what, red, and what, 255 of blue. The green is 0 yet. That means this should be what, I think purple. Yeah, it should be purple. So if you add this 255 to the green one, you have what, white. So you have white. So that's pretty much. You can also have, apart from RGB, you can also have RGB here. RGB. So the A stands for alpha. So you can use that height to control the opacity. You can use that height to control the opacity, and it ranges from 0 to 1. So I had 0.3 here. You can remove 0. You can write 0.3 or 0.3. It's the same thing. So as you can see, so that's just it. If you add 0 here, you see, when you add 0, that means what? It will look like a black this thing. But when you add 1, so that means what? You want the opacity to be very visible. So you have the X values, you have the uh, RGB, and you also have the RGBA. The A stands for alpha, red, green, blue, alpha. Okay, so now what's the background color? VS Code. Let's try to. Oh, the background color is not stable. Okay, so let's just leave it like that. So let's say white. So let's leave it as white. So let's set a width. Let's make it what 100%. So it should be responsive to the user's screen. Okay, so now we want to target the header. Let's inspect. I don't know the name of this background color. So I don't think I get the color. I'm trying to get the color. I'm trying to get the color. Let me copy this first. 444. So now we want to set a background color on our header. So we can just target the header tag and say header background color 444. So yeah, it's still okay. It's still okay. Okay, so now yeah, so now our logo color is white. So and our lab links color, they are also white. So let's change that, because I don't think we can see anything now. So let's target the logo. That's what h1. So you can just do h1 color white. H1 color white, as you can see now. So now also our links, you can see anything right now. So if you want to target the color for the links, if you write UL color white, you won't see anything. You won't see any changes. If you refresh, no changes. So if you also write LI color white, I don't think you will see any changes, as you can see. So but if you try to remove the link, if you remove the A tag and say link, if you remove the A tag here, as you can see, this is white in color. This link is white. Let me zoom in. So this link is it is white in color. So now okay, instead of doing that, you can just remove this and do comma li. You're saying the same thing. You are saying that this UL and this li should have a color of white. So now okay, let me return that. Let me remove this. Let's add our link. As you can see, we are doing the same thing. Okay, so now If you want to add the color on this a tag, you have to target the a tag directly. So what you did the other time, just write what comma a. So as you can see, all our a tags are now what, they are now in white. They are now in white. So you can just remove this since this is useless, the ULLIA. I just showed you how you can watch, how you can, should I say concatenate, or like how you can select, or like if you want to give different, if you want to give the same properties to different elements, yeah, if you want to give the same properties to different elements, you just say ul comma li a or paragraph. You get, they will all have what, the same property. So since we only want it on the a tag, so you are write the a tag there. Okay, so what else we need, them we need to display this. So at this stage, I think I have to show you how to use Flexbox. Yeah, Css Flexbox. So we need a way to display these, our own, they are still inline. So uh no, they are still in block display, so we have to make them inline like this. So we need to look for a way to display our own to be like this. So now this way I will show you how you can use Flexbox. So now Flexbox is just like, let me type it here, css flexbox. Css flexbox is just like a way of displaying your elements, a way of displaying your elements. You see, before the flexbox layout module, there were 4 layout module. We have the block, inline, table, and the positioned. Okay, so let me show you what the block. Okay, now if you see, okay, let's use these nav links as reference. You see now, by default, yeah, they are displayed block, because what, because they stack on each other, they are displayed block. But when you see them on the same line, let me do something like this. Let me target the ul, display inline. Let me see, so long I use display inline. Okay, so when we target the li to display them inline, as you can see, so inline they will be on the same straight line. But if it is block, if it is display block, they will stack on each other. So we have display inline here, display block. As you can see, they will stack on each other. But when you use display inline, they will be what, on the same on the straight line. So we have the display block, we have the display inline, we have the display table for tables. But here I want to show you how you can use Flexbox. And so let me remove the display inline here. So now if you want to use Flexbox, you can just target the ul tag. You can target the ul tag here and say ul display flex. Let's see what we have. As you can see, they have been displayed flex. Okay, if you check the Visual Studio Code nav links, no underline, like our own here, they have underlines and no these ballpoints. So a way you can remove that is by doing what, you can just target the li tag. That's what, list style should be what, should be none. As you can see, no more bullet points. So, and text decoration should be what, should be none. So let's see. Okay, so that means you have to put this on the a tag. You have to put this on the a tag. So as you can see, no more text decoration and no more bullet points. So now, okay, talking about CSS Flexbox. So CSS Flexbox, it makes it easier for responsive design. That's why I want to show you how to use Flexbox. It makes it easier for responsive design. If you are okay now, we have this inline now. So let's say on mobile, you want this to stack on each other. So we just say, when you set the media query, you can just say what flex direction should be what column instead of row. As you can see, we are back to our block display. So that's just it. Flexbox really makes responsive design easier. So do we like, okay, let me show you the media query. Actually we still do that, but not now. But I just want to show you. Just see at media only screen and max width, let's say 768 pixel. So you want this UL to stack on each other, we just say what flex direction to color. So we said what at max width of what 768 pixels. So that means what 768 downward. So you can just inspect. So you can just expect. So we have not reached the 768 pixel. You can, as you can see here. So display flex. So yeah, as you can see here, display flex, they have row, they are inline. So as you can see, as we have reached the 768 mark, if you look at the top right, this is 734. So 768 downward, they have what they have block display. So we have block display, you can just use this mobile something. So 768 downward, they have this block display. So that's it. I'll still teach you media query, but not now. So now, we have the, so let's display everything flex now. So, and if you want to use Flexbox, make sure the parent container that says handling each flex item is a block level element, something like this. So now this header now and the nav section, as you can see, what I used a block level element there. So you can just say on the header, just say display what display flex. As you can see, we already have a feeling that okay, we are getting there little by little. So display flex, we need spacing in here. So another way you can just do this is what you can just add, you can remove this and use it as like what a flex item on its own. So you will have two flex item here on the header tag. So you have two flex item here, so you won't have like three that we have the other time. So as you can see, so we have the normal approach. Don't worry, you can still display this flex. You see that this is under this, so you can just come here. So you can just come here under this section and say what section, let's add it here, comma section, display what display flex. So they are also what inline. So a way you can create space between them is by using what there's the property we call CSS syntax that we call justify content. So justify content, we add a space, just like a way to add spacing between them. So you have justify content. If you say space between, it will add space in the middle. As you can see, space between, that means that there will be a space in the middle. So if you say what space around, we have space between, we have space around. See this space around, so that means what there will be a spacing in here, as you can see. So you also have space evenly, as you can see. We have spacing and they are equal. So I think we should be using space around. Okay, so you already have a feeling that what we are achieving it little by little, little by little. So now I think we are okay. Is it because I zoomed in? So it's a little big here. Okay, so we need to reduce the font size. Yeah, let's reduce the font size. So on the H1, a way you can reduce the font size and do font is you can just say what font size of, so you can add 10 pixel. It should be very very small. As you can see, Visual Studio Code is now small. You have 10 pixel, so you also have 10-20 pixel. So as you can see, it's now okay now. So you have the font size, font weight. You see we have from 100 to 900. So you can also use bold, bolder, lighter, normal. You get. So let's use maybe 300, 400. Okay, 400. So yeah, okay. So now we need the spacing around this place too. We need the spacing here also. So we did section display flex here. You can just remove that and come here and say section display flex justify content space between. So as you can see, no noticeable changes. That is because what the section doesn't know the width. Like the section needs something like a width so that it will know or the length at which it should space them. It needs a width so that you know the length at which it should space them. So you have to add something like a width here, a width of let's say 30%. So it will be your 30% of the 100%. So as you can see that as we are updating this, we are also updating this. So that is because what we used a section tag for both. That is because we use the section tag here, we also use the section tag here. So we are updating two things at the same time. So this is where the identifier comes in. This is where you can use, this is where class name comes in handy. Class name and ID. So you can use a class name or ID identifier to target the specific elements that you want to manipulate. So now here, let's just add a class of logo and nav. You want to use the ID, it will be what ID of let's say input button. So now you'll be targeting was the specific elements, the specific section that you want to target. So instead of using the section tag here, the pure section tag here, pure selector, you can just use what dot logo nav. If you want to target, if you use class as an identifier, you have to target it by using what dot. If you used id as an identifier, you have to target it by using what? The pound sign. The pound sign. So the pound, that would be what? Input button. Input button. Okay, so if you go back here now, as you can see, so we are no more targeting these again. So since that rate of 30% is quite small, let's say the rate of 40%, the rate of 40%. As you can see now, we have space in between them. If we go back here, okay, so that's too much. Let's say 35%. Okay, now since we are okay now, at least, so let's 35%. So now we are no more targeting this other div that we have the input and the download button. See, I don't targeting it because what we have used an identifier. So the identifier that I used there is a class. So if you want to target a class, you start with what? With dots. If it is an ID, you start with what? The pound sign, the hash. Okay. So what else? What else? What else? Okay, so we need spacing in between these elements. So you can just see on the headline tag, you can just add margin. So let's say margin right of 10 pixel. Okay, so I think that's okay for now. So margin right of 10 pixel. Let me increase the width to 38%. Okay, margin right of 10 pixel. You can add margin to anything, because I feel like, okay, I think all this li needs some spacing. So let's add, okay, so we need the spacing up here, spacing up and down here. So we can use the height to specify. So let's say height of 100 pixel. That'll be too much. So you can use height to specify a space, but I prefer to use padding. Yeah, I prefer to use padding. So since I want them to be equal, I can just see padding top of what? 20 pixel, and padding bottom of 20 pixel. As you can see, it should surely be equal. So that's why padding is very, very useful. So it's just like a way to what? To add spacing, in respect to the parent container. Okay, now so we're adding spacing with the between this section, all this content, and the what, and the parent container, which is the header. So I think that's quite much. Let me reduce it. 15. Okay, so yeah, seems it's much okay now. So you can use padding to what? To add space. If I use margin now, it will create a space between this header and the what, and the body. To create a space between the header and the body, let me show you what I mean. So let me say margin top 10 pixel. As you can see, what we have a blank white line here. So that's what margin will do. So like by now you can also try to play around with this to really understand how it works. You can play around with it. You can add margin right, margin left, padding right, padding left to understand how things work. Yeah. So now, so there's a shortcut. I use padding bottom, margin bottom. So there's a shortcut to that. You can just write what? Padding. So the first value will be for the top. For the right, the second value will be for the right. Let me show you. So that what? Top So that will be top, right, bottom, and left. So the first value here will be for the top, right, bottom, and left. So, and if you feel like, okay, my top and bottom will be the same value, so you can say top and bottom, right and left. So there are two ways around it. If you feel like our own scenario now, our padding top is 15, our padding bottom is 15. So there's a shortcut to that. I can say, okay, since they are equal, so top and bottom will be what, 15 pixel, while my right and left will be what, 0 pixel. But if you felt like, oh, it's not the same thing, let me remove this first and see what we have. Fresh. So we have the same thing, okay. So but if you felt like, oh, I won't be having the same value, so the first value will be for the top 15 pixel, for the right 0, for the bottom let's say 50 pixel, and for the left 0. So as you can see, 15 on the top, 50 on the bottom. So that's how that's the shortcut to padding. Instead of writing padding top, padding right, padding left, padding bottom, I hope you understand now. The first value is what, top, right, bottom, and what, and left. So since they are equal, you can just remove this 15 pixel and 0, 15 pixel and 0. So like, I hope you have a great idea of how things works now. So in the next video, I'll show you how you can handle. As you can see, when you hover on it, when my mouse is on it, you see we have the a color of white. We have white color. So, and you see that when I hover on the nav links, I have the my cursor changes. So you can do that. My cursor changes, so you can do that with cursor pointer. So cursor pointer. So when you hover on it, you see we have this pointer cursor on it. So there are different cursor. We also have the not allowed, just like when you're trying to disable something. It's a problem. Maybe I should put it on the A tag. Cursor not allowed. See what we have. You see, so you can click on this, you can click on it. That's not allowed. Not allowed. Go back here. So just like a way to, maybe when you want to handle something like disable, so disable something, like when you disable a button. Let's say when you disable a button, you can just use the not allowed to display the kind of situation. So so let's use the pointer. So yeah, as you can see, when you hover on it, you have the word, this pointer cursor. So in the next before the next video, you can also try to work on this input. Try to play with the height and weight, something like this, or padding and margin, anyhow you padding, anyhow you feel you can handle this. Make sure that it matches the height of the header. Make sure that it matches the height of the header before the next class. So in the next video, I'll show you how you can do that. I'll show you how you can handle that, and now you can handle the overstate, such that when you over on it like this, the color will change. So you can also try it before. You can also try it on your own, and I will show you the solution in the next video. So thank